AITA for telling my fiancé that his family was too nice when I met them? Throwaway ACC because my fiancé is on Reddit and I really don't want to risk anything. I, 27F, recently met my fiancé's 31M family for the first time. We have been together for 4 years, but we spent 2 of those years in my home country and then moved to his country after I finished my graduate program. We didn't settle in his home state, but I kept asking to meet his parents because he's met mine multiple times, and he always said that they're just very private people or kind of old-fashioned, so we should wait until we're engaged. Weird, but some people are just weird, so I didn't push on it. Well, we're engaged now. So last weekend we finally made the trip, and I don't know how else to describe it, but something felt really off about the entire thing. They weren't rude. I want to preface by saying that. It's on the contrary. They were nice to a degree that felt contrived and honestly a little scary. His mom kept hugging and touching me and holding my hands, asking what she can do for me, how she can make me comfortable, that it's so nice to finally meet me. His dad barely said a word to me, and that juxtaposition was a lot. But I felt love-bombed a little. She made all my favorite foods and kept anxiously asking if anything was wrong, if she could refill my drink. She even offered me her shirt when I mentioned I thought it looked really nice. I thought maybe she was just anxious. His little sisters asked polite questions to me, but still, it felt so surface level. His mom was dominating everything. It kind of felt like a job interview. Like, what are you looking for in a marriage? And have you heard much about our little town? With palpable relief when I said no, because I'm not from the US. She asked about my past relationships and was very interested in why me and my past boyfriend broke up. I specifically remember her asking, "How hard did you fight for it? Or did you just leave?" And that was so weird. I just felt oddly interrogated and coddled at the same time. I'm not explaining myself well, but my gut told me to get out of that house. My fiancé barely spoke all night, and any time I looked to him for reassurance, he just smiled and looked down at his hands, which is not like him at all. A couple nights in, and I told him I was feeling kind of weird and wanted to go home. He asked me why, and I told him that maybe I'm just not used to American socializing, that I just feel a little tired and overwhelmed, and that his family is really, really nice, and I'm not sure how to handle it. I was trying to not be rude, but we've always emphasized honesty in our relationship, and I thought if this was a cultural thing, maybe we could talk about it and overcome it together. He got really defensive though, saying I was being dramatic, rude, and xenophobic, when his family had gone out of their way to make me feel welcome. I apologized and said I was grateful, that I just felt a little weird, and he said he was done talking about it. We drove home, and he won't talk about it anymore, will hardly even talk to me. His mom, on the other hand, has been texting me nonstop since she met me. How happy she was to meet me, how beautiful I am, and how she hopes we won't wait too long to get married and have kids. I just feel so unsettled. My fiancé thinks I am an ungrateful asshole, and maybe I am. Am I? I just feel so out of sorts over this. Any advice, criticism, anything is welcome. Edit. My fiancé still isn't talking to me. At all. He shut himself in our room and said he needed space. Seriously, am I missing something here? WTF do I do? I feel like I'm going crazy. Update. Talked with fiancé, at a complete loss. I finally got my fiancé to talk to me, and it was not a good conversation. I apologized again for coming across as ungrateful, and he said that the way I reacted to his family told him everything he needed to know about why he was so reluctant to let me meet them in the first place. He said I should be grateful they welcomed me with such open arms, and that I needed to remember that the only reason I'm doing so well in this country is because I am dependent on him to be here. That had me so angry. I literally can't stand being talked down to. I said I felt like this was way out of proportion, and he then accused me of cheating on him. He demanded to see my phone because apparently, according to him, I am intentionally trying to sabotage our relationship by saying his family is too nice so that he'll call off the engagement. I can call him the asshole, and I get to go off with my so-called fling. I am not a cheater, so I said go ahead, look through my phone. He scrolled through my texts for a bit, my internet search history, my social media search history, and my camera roll. As expected, he found nothing, but he doubled down and said that this was a serious problem for him and that he needs to reevaluate our entire relationship. I am so baffled. He has never blown up on me like this. I feel like I don't even recognize who I am getting married to. WTF do I do? Am I actually this much of an asshole? Edit for clarity. I didn't articulate myself well in the first post, so here is a more extensive rundown of what happened at his home. His mom touched my hair and kept hugging me, grabbing my arm. She even pinched my cheeks a couple of times. These could all be very normal things. I am coming to understand this by reading the comments. But this paired with everything else just made me feel like more of a doll. She said I was more beautiful than I imagined. Multiple times kept saying I was beautiful and perfect for her son. She grabbed my shirt because she said it looked so good on me and wanted to feel it. She insisted I sit down next to her, and every so often kept saying she was so glad to finally meet me and that it feels like she had been waiting for me forever. She served my plate for me and kept filling it with food even when I said thank you. It was so yummy, but I'm full. She kept bringing me drinks even when I said I wasn't thirsty. I don't handle alcohol well, so I try not to drink. I would try to decline, but she just kept insisting, so then I felt like I couldn't. She was asking me what I was looking for in a relationship, what kind of wife I wanted to be, what my past relationships were like, why I left my exes, what my thought process and reasoning was. And since we left, she has been texting me almost this whole time, asking me to promise I'll come back ADN visit, asking when the wedding is, asking me to not put it off for long, asking when we're going to have kids, asking if we're trying for kids. I hope this provides more clarity for why I felt the way that I did, even if I shouldn't have said it to my fiancé, because I was a guest in their home and a receiver of their hospitality. Edit 2. Many people have asked, and I guess it might be more relevant than I thought. Fiancé is white and I am Asian. No, I was not born in the US. We met when he was teaching English in my home country. Final update, it's over. I want to start this out by saying thank you so much to all of the commenters and people who messaged me private words of support and comfort. I have been really slow to catch up to what is happening to me, and though a lot of the comments scared me, I started coming to the natural conclusion that they were right. I felt more and more unsettled as the hours went on. Fiancé's mother kept texting me, and he didn't text me from work like he usually does. He got back late. His job is labor-intensive and requires long hours. When he got back, I was waiting and told him I wanted to talk, right now, because the way events are unfolding is unacceptable to me, the effort I've put into our relationship, and is leaving too many questions unanswered and creating even more. He instantly lit up and demanded to see my phone again. I said I would not give him my phone unless he gave me his, and he vehemently denied, saying I was the one causing problems, so it was his right to look through my phone, not his. At this point, I was starting to feel really scared of him. I am physically much smaller than him, and this has never felt more apparent to me than in that moment. He was speaking really loudly and really closely to me, telling me that his family and him were willing to give me a second chance if I behaved better this time, that he knew I had it in me to be polite because I always acted that way back in my home country, and that no one else in America would put up with this bullshit. So I should consider myself lucky he didn't do more to expose my cheating. I asked if he was threatening me, and he again demanded to see my phone. I said no, though not as firmly as the first time, and he stormed off to the bathroom and turned the shower on. I was really scared. So many of you told me to look him and his family up, and I didn't because I honestly thought it was silly. But I did, right there in our living room. Turns out, he did have a past girlfriend, though he's always maintained he has only had short flings and never a serious relationship. She disappeared 8 years ago, and he was considered a suspect for a while. I couldn't find much in the articles because I honestly didn't know how to dig further. I don't know if anything ever happened with it, if he still is a suspect, though I guess he couldn't be to teach English in another country. I don't know how it works. I know he was never convicted, but whether or not he did it is irrelevant to the fact that he lied. He lied so colossally about something so huge. I was genuinely so scared that I started shaking. I couldn't think or do anything. It was the middle of the night, and he was in the shower, and I was just so scared. I really missed my mom and home so much more than I have since I left. I locked myself in our bedroom and called her, and she answered, despite it being the middle of the night, and tried to explain what was happening as best I could. My parents told me to leave all of my things except for family photos, heirlooms, and my work things, and go to a hotel. Not to say a word to him, and just do it as quickly as possible. I told them he was in the shower, so they thought I would have enough time to do it without him noticing. I got all my stuff together as quickly as I could. I think I forgot some jewelry, but it's okay. My dad sent me money for a hotel, and that's where I am right now. I took an Uber about 2 hours away from the city on a separate account I made that night, as I don't have a car here. My fiancé started messaging me about 30 minutes into the drive asking what was going on. I sent him the links to the articles I read and said I was feeling really scared and lied to, and that I thought our relationship was over. If he thought I was cheating, clearly we don't trust each other. He called me so many times, kept sending that I was a bitch for accusing him of something he didn't do, for bringing up such a sore subject when he wasn't ready to talk about it. He said he wished he never met me and that I should think long and hard about what I'm doing because I don't fully understand the consequences of being alone in America, that no one will want me like him, that he was doing me a favor. I just ignored it. I was crying so hard the Uber driver actually asked me if I was okay. Then, his mom started calling and texting me. She said she knows it sounds scary, but her son is a good person and he had nothing to do with it, and that if we just get married and have kids, things will really smooth out. I couldn't take it anymore. I just wanted to go home. Everything was clicking into place way too much. His parents' treatment of me, why he kept demanding to see my phone, why it took so long for me to go to his hometown and meet his family. My friend walked me through everything, and it all made sense. My body was so overcome by the stress and fear that I couldn't stand to be there for one more second. I am at the hotel now. All location services on my phone are disabled, and my dad bought me a plane ticket home. I emailed my job and told them a family emergency came up and I would no longer be able to offer my services to them. Most of my clothes are still at the home I shared with my fiancé, and I don't think I'll ever get them back because I don't want to go back, and it's not like I can ask my friends to get it for me. I have some friends here, but they're not close, and it's too hard to ship them. Anyway, that's it. I sent him a text saying that the engagement is called off. There's a lot of other things to address, like the fact that we have shared accounts, he has my visa information, etc. I don't want to speculate over what happened with him and his past girlfriend because I don't know. They never found her, and my heart breaks for her. He just lied about it for years and tried to do everything he could to keep it from me. I am too scared to ever be comfortable in that relationship again, and I think it's time for me to go home. Thank you so much again to everyone who sent me comforting words of support and kindness. I don't know if I would have come to the same conclusions if not for your comments. Hopefully next time we meet, I'll be back home with my family and friends.